Welcome back to Reporting for Duty. I'm your host, A Train. Joining me as always is Janelle West Coast, my co-host. Janelle West Coast, my co-host.
You're a poet and you didn't even know it.
I know. What are you doing?
Oh, nothing. Just being a bum. How about
I
you?
see I didn't give Clint any B8 since the last time we did a podcast.
He looks
Looks sad.
looks like he's still sad and waiting for you to offer him something.
Yeah. Can you hear that fan blowing? Probably not. Shouldn't be able to.
No, I cannot.
Good.
Can you hear my dog sniffing?
No, I don't hear a dog sniffing your butt.
You know it.
Speaking of Clint, I had a friend call me a couple of weeks ago and said that his best friend had just passed away, and his best friend had a race car that Clint was driving when he got discovered by Richard Childress Racing. So he's like, hey, this lady is selling it. Her husband passed away. She's getting rid of some his race car stuff. So I set up a meeting to go look at it this morning, and it's just the body of the car. I was really hoping to buy it, but once we got out there, it was all tore up. It didn't look as good as it did in the pictures. But it's cool because it is the actual car that Clint was racing. He was doing an ARCA race in that car when Richard Childress actually discovered him and called him to come join NASCAR. So
that's awesome. I wonder, and they contacted you about buying it, like specifically? You should feel pretty special.
Well, no, they actually contacted me to see, they thought maybe Clint might want it.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say is
I got a hold of Clint's brother Casey, and he got the info to Clint, and Clint's like, no, I don't have any desire for it. So I thought, well, I'll go look at it. I might want it. It could even like hang it up, make it look cool, cut it up in parts, hang them up on the wall or whatever. But it's just, man, it's been sitting outside. It's trash. But they had a Tony Stewart car, complete Tony Stewart car out there with the engine, everything. Like, it's immaculate. It was super awesome. But it's like $25,000.
Oh gosh, no thanks.
Yeah. But it's crazy to think that there's two really kind of influential cars in the middle of Kansas.
Yeah.
Out on some lady's property.
Yes. I'm sure there are people out there that would be interested in paying a lot of money for those things.
Yeah.
So. And is it ever weird? Like, I always wonder, because Clint is very famous and from here in Emporia, and it's always so interesting because when he's back in town, I mean, it's just no big deal. Like, it's not
right.
People treat him very respectfully, and he hangs out with people that I know, and
yeah, just another dude.
Yeah. So I always wonder, if that's how it is for like all very famous people when they go back to their hometowns.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. I would think. I know like Chase Elliott, who's a NASCAR driver. I know that when he goes back home, he's like, people are probably excited to see him just like Clint, but I don't, hopefully they just treat him, I mean, they know him as just the hometown kid. So hopefully they just treat him that way and don't go all crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out. I mean, when we're famous one day.
That's right. Like, is it really not people just trying to take pictures with you and stuff all the time? Yeah, we'll find out. Yeah,
I mean, I told you earlier, we're getting between 45 and 90 views per episode. And that, I should say, just on YouTube. That I haven't looked at the analytics for the other ones yet, but I mean, that, dude, that's pretty good, really, for being brand new.
I have people, and I think you had mentioned, I have had people reach out that I haven't spoken to in years, like making comments, and there's one person that listens to podcasts all day long. Biggest fan, like, sorry, I cannot talk tonight.
You're fine.
The number one podcast that he watches is Joe Rogan, and that's just kind of like, that's all I do. I really won't listen to anybody else. but he started checking ours out and was actually like reaching out and saying, hey, I've never actually subscribed to a podcast before, even Joe Rogan's, and I just subscribed to yours, like one of
Sweet.
his favorites. Yeah. And I'm like, wow. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Or I've been in public or social settings where someone that I haven't seen in a long time will come up and be like, hey, been listening to your podcast. I'm like, oh gosh.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was down, well, first of all, while we're on this topic, so what I have noticed, guys, is, we'll get 45 to 90 views per episode, but we only have 13 subscribers. So obviously you guys are coming back each week and watching it. I can tell by the views, but make sure that you subscribe while you're watching that video and hit the notification bell, because it does help the whole algorithm game and get us, posted higher, I guess, when someone does a search or whatever. I did add a bunch of keywords and stuff on the last one to help. So
Oh, nice.
hopefully that'll help generate some stuff. But yeah, I know that you guys are coming back each week and listening, because I can see with the viewership. Just make sure you hit that subscribe button, because that helps a lot.
I'm going to cut you off real quick because I know this will bother you later,
Yeah.
but you sound a little bit something. It's not fuzzy, but it's like, I don't know. It's too like you're turned up too loud or something. Hang
Voice
on.
a little. Let me know if it sounds any better.
That sounds better. Yes.
I wonder if it was the fan. I had the fan blowing on me.
Okay.
Maybe that was throwing it off. So I'm
Carry
glad you
on.
said
I just
yeah.
know you'll beat yourself up about it later.
Well, yeah, because I can't hear it. So, but yeah, so I went down to Arizona this week to do a podcast. And, okay, so back up. Chris Farrar was an officer that I worked with in Chandler. He was killed about a year ago, on duty, in a, well, it was a car chase. It went across multiple counties, ended up in Chandler. It actually ended up at a dealership in Chandler. Suspect stole a second vehicle at the dealership, and when he was pulling out of the service center, he ran over two officers, and one of those guys was Chris. So Chris was the co-host on the podcast that I went to do this week. So obviously that was a shock to them and the whole podcast, because they'd lost Chris. But Chris's mom also works for the podcast, which is it's called the name of the company is called Under the Shield. So, and I had never met Chris's parents before. So get there, I meet Chris's mom, we do the podcast, then we go to lunch, and Chris's dad came, and I got to meet Chris's dad as well. And it was just crazy sitting there at lunch with him, because he said that he listens to our podcast.
Oh, wow.
And we've now, I've never met Chris's dad before. And so to find out that he's been listening to the podcast was really cool. So, I don't know. Hopefully he's seeing that we're progressing. The editing's getting better each time. I don't know, but he said he loved it, which is good.
Oh, good, good.
But yeah, I didn't know what to expect they got a professional setup there. I was very curious how they run the whole thing, and I guess it was a lot simpler than I expected it to be. They have the company's called Rode. So you have Rode mics, like the mics you use, those wireless ones that we used when you came to the house.
Mhm.
That's made by a company called Rode. But Rode makes I don't even know what you call it. It's like a soundboard, and then you take your mics, they plug right into that soundboard, and then all the audio is recorded on that soundboard, and you can adjust the volume. When you put the headset on, you actually hear yourself talking as well as the people you're talking to. So one thing that prevents is like interrupting, especially when you got like 4 people. It's really easy to interrupt others, because if you don't hear them talking through the headset. So with being able to hear them talk and hear yourself, you recognize if you're like jumping in or interrupting or anything like that. Also, I would have known that I was having some weird audio issue that you heard a little bit ago.
Right.
And then it just records to a micro USB or whatever they call it, the little card you plug into a camera. What do you call those? I'm going blank.
Oh,
SIM card. Yeah, just all.
snap, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, but it just, and so then once you're done recording, you pop out that SIM card, plug it into the computer, and that's how you upload the audio. And then you would have just a camera going too. And you do same thing with the camera, pull the SIM card and throw it in the computer, and then you can edit it that way. But it's kind of cool because kind of as you're doing the podcast that the audio is already dialed in, so there's really no post stuff you really need to do with the audio because you already know like that it sounds good while you're doing it, if that makes sense. But
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. And I looked up that soundboard thing and I mean, they're like $450. They're not horrible.
Oh, okay. Very
But-
cool. And where were they set up at?
So they have an office in Mesa, Arizona. They rent a space there where they have their offices, and then one of the offices they set up as their studio. So they got I don't even know what you would call them, but they're like these square pieces of foam that you put up on the walls all
Oh,
the way
yeah.
around, so it knocks down the echo and all that kind of stuff. But it was cool. It was like, I don't know, I was really expecting it to be like a bigger deal. I mean, as far as equipment, not the podcast is great, but I thought there'd be like cables and all kinds of crazy things going on, and it would be really hard to replicate unless you know what you're doing. But it's not. It's simple. It's a really simple setup.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what have you been doing?
Man, I am not gonna lie, my soul is tired this week. I have my son's little brother who's 12 still living with me, and I don't want to get too far into the topic of that because I might say mean, regrettable things, but I'm helping his mom right now and for an undetermined amount of time. And I'm not a fan of 12-year-old boys. Let's just say that. They're just not fun. And juggling, work and all those things. But the highlight of my week was my coworker. She is in a master's art therapy program up at ESU.
Oh,
And she and her class were going up to the Topeka Zoo to go paint with elephants, and they were able to invite along a person.
oh
And she
shit.
picked me.
That's
She
amazing.
picked me. So we snuck off Thursday afternoon and took the whole yes.
Did you communicate with them?
Well, guess what? That's not what you really normally hear them do. They said it's actually very rare for elephants to do that. It's only when they're angry and blowing water, usually.
Mm,
But they purr. They just do this
really?
really cute purring when they're happy. So no, but here is I did put together like a little 3-minute video that I'm gonna send you that maybe you can play.
Okay.
But here's oh no, shoot, hang on. So there were 2 elephants and there was a whole big group of us, and so there we go. So they let us pick which elephant we were going to go to. One elephant was actually holding a paintbrush and would just slap some stuff on your canvas. And then the other one, they said, would paint with his trunk. And so she was like, well, he'll like kiss the canvas. Well, he didn't really kiss it. There's actually a man standing there that's kind of like
Pushing it.
Come on, kiss it. But as he was pushing it against my canvas, he's like, ooh, that's gonna be a good one. And it is. And so
that's the trunk?
that's the trunk. That's the bottom of
Gotcha.
the trunk, top of the trunk.
Because it kind of
But-
looks like an elephant.
Right. So I was thinking maybe I could finish it off and actually paint
Oh, that's a good
body of an
idea.
elephant
That'd be cool.
and leave that. So that's my
Yeah.
plan. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of looks like an SCBA mask too, which is a mask the firefighters wear.
Oh,
And then
yeah. I can
maybe
see
the
what
attaching the hose there at the bottom.
Yeah, so it was so exciting. I had the best day.
Which zoo
It's
was it?
the Topeka Zoo.
Hmm.
Yeah.
How was that? I haven't been to the Topeka Zoo since I was a kid.
Well, one of the elephants has been there since 1976. And I've been going to that zoo since I was a
Yep,
baby. So I was like,
same.
wow, I've that's the elephant I've been seeing my whole life.
Yeah, we've all been seeing then.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
That's why. So how
Well,
long does an elephant live?
between 40 and 50 years. So probably on the on the backside of
That old boy's old.
girl.
Girl, she's
Girl.
old.
Yes.
Dang.
Oh.
Wonder what they do with an elephant when they die.
Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah,
morbid to
because I
think
think they
about.
weighed, the ones that were there, one was underweight at 6,000 pounds.
Holy shit.
The other one had been as heavy as 10,000 pounds, but was at 8. Could-
I'm
They're not even a,
speechless.
I know, they're not even
10,000?
10,000.
That's bananas.
Can you imagine that fall? I mean, you can't really, you wouldn't know if it fell on you.
Makes me feel better about my weight. Hey, I'm not 10,000 pounds. I'm good.
Oh, but they were in a cage. They kind of took us back like behind the scenes in that giraffe hippopotamus building.
Oh, yeah?
And I kept trying to sneak around to this opening so I could take better pictures, and the lady kept kind of scolding me. And I would pretend that's not what I was doing. And she said they can actually reach their trunks around, and that one in particular, there's a opening in the cage where he can reach his trunk around. She's like, he will actually grab you.
Oh,
And somebody was like jokingly said, well, what's he trying to do? And he's not trying to kill you. She goes, no, that's exactly what he would be trying to do, is kill you. That's literally what the elephant would try to do.
wow.
Yeah, because you just want to be so affectionate and you want to pet them, but um there's
Now,
not a safe distance to get within. And I cannot talk tonight. The caretakers are not even allowed in the cage with them. They have to
with
direct
all
them.
of them or just one of them?
No, none of them. You're not
Because
allowed to
some
be.
of them, I'm not saying there, obviously some of them are nice. I mean, people ride them, they're in the circus or whatever.
Yeah, circuses aren't a thing. Any elephants aren't in circuses anymore. I
Well,
don't
yeah,
think.
no, I mean, you're right. My point was though,
In
some
the
of them are clearly can be nice, I guess.
Correct. Yes, you are probably correct. So those two elephants in that particular zoo, they are not allowed to get in the cage with them because it's too much of a risk.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
So yeah,
Yeah, I wonder how strong a trunk is. Like if he wrapped it around you and pulled you up against the fence, he could probably choke you out pretty quick.
probably.
Like I wonder,
Probably.
because they'll say like a dog's jaw has so many different, like
Like
a certain
so much
amount of
weight.
pressure. I don't know if how they measure that, but they can clamp down on you really hard. But I wonder what a trunk could do to you. Probably a lot.
Probably.
That's
Probably.
wild.
Yes.
Did you see one take a dump?
Oh yeah.
But
Oh
that's
yeah.
big,
It's so big. It's bigger than their 1 foot, which is
right?
so big.
Huge. What do
So
they
big.
eat?
Um, Lots of stuff. Pumpkin, pineapples,
Can they eat a pumpkin whole?
cereal. I don't think they can eat it whole. I did see a hippopotamus eat a watermelon whole.
Hmm.
I know that's not an elephant,
So
but
does an elephant, say if it was eating a pumpkin, does it just reach down and pick it up with its mouth, or does it use its trunk and then bring it
I
up to
don't
its
know that an
mouth?
elephant would be able to do a pumpkin. But like for instance,
Hmm.
we did a whole pineapple and the elephant was trying to pick up the whole pineapple, and I think he would have, but he couldn't, she couldn't get the whole thing.
What's-
I'm gonna send you that that video though.
Elephants typically feed on grasses, leaves, and use their powerful trunks to dig for roots or break off large tree branches.
What about
But-
what do they eat in zoo?
Wow, this is interesting. So 5 things elephants eat. Elephants consume grasses, small plants, bushes, fruit, twigs, tree bark, and roots. So they're eating tree bark and they're actually eating tree roots. I can't imagine that being very darn good or nutritious. I mean, clearly it is if they're eating it, but
They were
bark?
talking about
Wow,
giving-
tree bark is a favorite food source of the elephant.
really.
That's crazy.
They were
It-
talking about having to give the elephants enemas and how that's the absolute nastiest job on earth.
I saw it. It's so funny you say that. I saw a video of that, and that's because they're like constipated, right?
Well, probably if they're eating tree bark.
It says the tree bark contains calcium and roughage. What is roughage?
Oh, roughage is like fiber.
Oh, which
Like what you
aids in
need.
digestion. Shit, I can't talk today either. The trunk. Huh, wow, okay. There you go, folks. You learned something today. I would have never guessed an animal would eat tree bark or tree
Mm-mm.
roots. That doesn't sound appetizing. That sounds really shitty.
I don't know what I don't know why that's so funny.
Man, but they can suck up like a damn swimming pool with their
Mhm.
trunk. I mean, I'm
And
exaggerating a
when
little, but they
when
can, go ahead.
Nope, you go ahead.
No, but I'm just saying when they can suck up that water, they can suck up gallons at one time
Mhm.
and then spray it.
That's when they do the noise.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Mhm. Which I'll have to try again sometime, but
That's so cool. Yeah,
yeah.
so we were talking about big things. Speaking of big
Were
things,
we speaking of big things?
folks, let me stand up. Yeah, so I got to meet up with a bunch of old PD buddies for dinner, and one of our dispatchers, she brought her husband, and he's 6'7", but his son, who is 13 years old, is 6'10".
What?
Yeah,
At 13, he's
Thir-
6'10", 3 inches
yeah,
smaller than his dad.
yeah. And then one of my other buddies that was a police officer came, and Ken is probably 6 foot, I don't know, 4 or 5. Like when I go anywhere, it's very rare that I'm the little person.
Right.
And at dinner the other night, I got a picture. I'll try to put it in here. Dude, I look like a midget next to these guys. Seriously, it's crazy. I can't imagine being that big. Like I feel like I'm big, and that causes me different struggles from being tall and like just getting in and out of cars or whatever. I can't imagine. And what did he say he's driving, like a Dodge Charger or something? I'm like, how the hell do you even fit in a Dodge Charger, bro? Like your head got to be coming out the sunroof.
Yeah, how does that even work?
I
How
don't
tall
know.
are you?
6'2".
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean that's not little.
No, it's not.
The picture's funny. And then my buddy Nick, who's in the photo with us, Nick's not tall, but he's not short. He's probably 5'10", maybe 5'11". And I mean, my God, he looks like a second grader next to these dudes.
I can't imagine having a 13-year-old that's that tall.
Yeah. And then my buddy Dennis was there. He's got one of the funniest stories ever. So he was on sorry, I'm totally going off on a tangent. He
No, you're
worked for Lodi, California PD, and he was working a SWAT detail one afternoon, and they were making entry into this home to take some suspects down for whatever. Might have been drugs. I don't remember what it was for, but they had to go into this house and take them down. Well, they make entry. Dennis is the number one guy in the building, and then the number two guy is lined up right behind him. Then you got 3, 4, and 5, and you're just lined up, kind of going in. Well, anyway, well, let me back up. So they're on the SWAT truck, and as they're getting out, he tells his buddy, "Don't whatever you do, don't shoot me." So anyway, they get stacked up to make entry into this building. They make entry. All of a sudden, he hears like this bang, and then it feels like he's just been punched in the back with like a baseball bat times 5,000. Well, long story short, the buddy that he said, "Don't shoot me," shot him in the back by accident. So shoots him with a 223 round in the back, and it like, he had a bulletproof vest on, which luckily stopped it, but it's still a punch. Like, I mean, it's just, imagine being hit by a Mack truck, right? And the heat and the force of that bullet hitting his spine literally disintegrated his skin. Like, just pulverized his skin, just gone, disappeared. So he gets shot. They finish clearing. I mean, he's able to somehow finish clearing the room that they were in, which I don't know how, because I'm like, didn't it knock it should have knocked the fucking wind out of him. I mean, should have knocked him down. I mean, I don't even understand it. And so they clear the room, and the guy that shot him, his buddy's like all freaking out. He's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah." He goes, I need to sit down. Let me sit down for a minute. So he sits down, and his partner, and he's got a helmet on, right? With it, and it's strapped underneath, and the guy's like, "Oh, Sarge, we got to get your helmet off." So he grabs his helmet, and he's like pulling up on his helmet, trying to help, get his helmet off. Well, it's still strapped under his chin, and now he's got him picked up off the ground by his helmet. And he's like, because I guess this guy's ginormous, and he's like picked him up, and Dennis is like dangling. He's like, "Put me down, Jesus Christ, put me down." He's like, "Well, what do you need?" He goes, "I need you to put me down." And the guy lets go and drops him back down on the ground. And he's like, "Am I bleeding?" He goes, "I don't, what's going on?" He can't really tell in fact, he doesn't even know if the bullet was stopped. He's like, it could have been inside of him. He didn't know at this point. And so one of the guys sticks his hand in between his vest, pulls it out, and it's covered in blood. Well, Dennis sees that his hand's covered in blood, and the guy's like tries to hide it real quick. "Oh, you're good, there's nothing there." And Dennis is like, "I see your hand, it's covered in blood, dickhead." So they end up taking him up to the hospital, and I mean, they released him later, but fucking
Wow.
crazy. So then they had a SWAT call. I don't know. I think it was the next day. And the poor guy that shot him, I guess, was just like really like went back to the station, was going to turn his badge in and never
Oh
come
gosh.
back to work. I mean, sure he
Yeah.
felt terrible, and I mean, we're trained so well that you should never accidentally shoot someone anyway. And I'm sure that he clearly had his finger on the trigger when he shouldn't have.
Mhm.
But Dennis, he's a cool dude. He just wanted to not make him feel like shit. So the next SWAT call they went on, I think it was the next day, he's like made him the number 2 guy again.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's like, "You're following me in." The guy's like, "No, no, no, no." He's like, "No, you're gonna follow me in. We're gonna do it right."
Aw,
And they move forward from there.
that's a good um warm feeling
Yeah,
story.
yeah, crazy.
I don't mean to completely switch gears.
Let's switch.
So I'm confused. I made a little TikTok video the other day at the zoo, but I don't normally do TikTok. I had an account a while back. My nieces did a couple stupid videos on there. And so I went to open up TikTok to check it out. And it's a different account with a different picture that I don't remember making. And I have one person that I'm connected to. And it's you. But I don't
Oh,
ever remember this happening.
really?
Did we do this when we were together sometime or something? Are you Sphere Society?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know. No clue.
Let me see. Is it under Janelle?
It's Janelle Hamilton. I didn't even name, it's Janelle Hamilton Carr. I'm just super confused.
You know what? I think I added you the other day. Cause you know, when you get on TikTok, it will make recommendations or people you may know.
Okay,
And now that I think about it, I think I remember that it suggested you the other day.
okay, well, stop it.
So you have one video on there?
Well, I have 1, 2, 3, I have
Oh,
5
yeah.
now.
Oh,
Three
yeah.
videos again.
Oh,
Oh, I need
baking a
it.
cake on a budget?
Yeah, check it out.
Oh, bud. Are these all cooking? Well, no, one of them's a fence.
This fence is the zoo. I baked a special occasion birthday cake this week. I love baking. I love decorating cakes. And so I did a little video of the
Oh,
whole
look
process.
at you. You even got the editing down.
Well, kind of, not really. I panicked.
Buttercream frosting.
I didn't like do the recipes or anything. It was just the process.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
How long ago did you, oh, wait,
This
how
was
long?
just this was just
Whoa,
this
it
weekend.
says 1 day ago.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
You did all of these yesterday?
Yes.
Dang. Look at you. It's official. You're a TikToker.
Right? I'm
Damn.
trying. I'm
That,
trying.
dude, that cake looks legit. I don't know if I can focus. It kind of looks like pancakes.
It does. It does.
Hmm,
Have you seen the finished product?
not yet.
Um,
It's
okay.
coming. It's getting.
It'll be there in a while. It'll take a minute.
Trying to fast forward. Okay, here we go. Whoa, bro. Come on, focus. I know it still doesn't look as good with the camera, but you guys kind of like it's okay. So I can see it clear and it looks like professional. Like you did a great job.
Thank
Have
you.
you always done cakes?
For a long time, yes.
Dude, this is legit.
Thanks.
So go to Janelle Hamilton Carter on TikTok and add her. That's impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
Sorry.
I spent a little bit of time on TikTok, a little more time on TikTok this weekend than I ever have in my life.
It will suck you in.
Oh, it did. And I would always make fun of people. I'm like, oh my gosh, seriously, TikTok, stop it.
Yeah.
And it's dangerous.
Yeah. And it's crazy where you end up. Like you'll start out looking at cakes and next thing you know, you're watching two monkeys jerk each other off. And you're like, how did I get here? It's crazy.
You
Am
start
I-
contemplating everything in your life.
Am I blurry?
You weren't blurry.
I know, it's like-
Clint's a little blurry.
Well, I know. It's like I look red all of a sudden. Do you see that?
Yeah, it feels like something changed on your coloring or something.
That's so weird. There, folks.
There, you're better.
And look how red my face is compared to my hand.
Are you okay?
Well, no, I think I literally saw when it changed red with the camera earlier. I don't know why it did that. Maybe I'll have to try a different light down here next time. Sorry. So anyway, you were on TikTok.
Oh, so I decided to look up something I'd heard on the radio the other day, and it was the Sleepy Chicken Challenge. Have you heard that?
You're joking, right? Sleepy chicken. Oh my God. I cannot
You know
wait.
what I'm talking?
No,
You
I just blew
don't?
my vape pen right out of my nose. Oh my God. No, I've never heard of this. What is happening?
How have you not?
Mm.
Because the FDA has sent out a warning against this. People are taking chicken and cooking it in NyQuil. And I heard it on the radio the other day, and the radio talk show host was like, okay, folks, you know, like I know that we have to kind of warn kids about what to do, you know, what not to do, but We literally had to get the FDA involved to tell TikTokers not to cook NyQuil with chicken or with anything. So I was trying to look up the sleepy chicken challenge, and mostly all that comes up is all of these warnings about, hey, you stupid people. So I'm going to send you a couple of those videos and you have to loop them in here.
Plug them in.
Yeah.
All right.
Would you like for me to send you one right now?
Well, was you sure if you'd like?
Oh gosh.
Oh my God. So
It's so funny.
sleepy chicken. That's weird. All right.
Sleepy
So
chicken
what
challenge.
was so they're just cooking it and then like eating and then just passing out?
Yes, I guess. I can't find an actual video of it happening because I'm pretty sure they've probably taken them all down.
Yeah.
Now it's just all videos about people warning you against it and talking about how stupid it is. And then this warning came up when I was trying to search for it. Gosh dang it, I'm sorry with the blur. Where's my camera?
Oh yeah, where it gives you the viewership warning or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Says your safety matters. Some online challenges can be dangerous, disturbing, or even fabricated. Learn how to recognize harmful challenges so you can protect your health and well-being.
I mean, think about that. There has to be a fucking warning not to mix NyQuil with your chicken. Dude, that medicine tastes like shit, by the way. I never had a
Oh,
NyQuil that tastes good. I can't imagine cooking that in your chicken. Well, you'd think too, going through the cooking process, that would break down whatever's in the NyQuil anyway, that would be beneficial.
well, what they're saying is it actually increases the effects
Does
of
the
what you
opposite.
really do. Right. So it makes it
Wow.
so that it's to a dangerous level
Okay,
and
I'm
could
gonna try
actually
it
kill
tonight.
someone. No, nobody try it.
Oh, do not try this. I'll try it. I haven't slept in like 2 years. I've been trying to find the magic thing. Maybe I just need some NyQuil and chicken.
You just need some sleepy chicken.
Sleepy chicken.
Um,
Yeah, I'm gonna use that excuse next time somebody wants to bang it out. I'm like, sorry, sleepy chicken. I said
Sam.
somebody wants to bang it out. Sam's gonna be like, what do you mean somebody?
I had to specify you meant Sam.
Oh God. It's amazing.
Oh gosh.
So I saw a news article. Let me see if I can find this. Oh, this is a funny safety meeting, work safety meeting ends in an accident. Damn it. Oh, damn the luck. Can you imagine having a safety meeting and Bob gets crushed by a truck or something?
Oh, that's funny. Was that a real article?
It looks like it.
I drove by a sign. I drove by a sign the other day. It was a collision and auto repair in Wichita. And it said, we meet people by accident.
This is funny.
Made me think of this.
It says the first sentence is after a safety meeting concluded at the Kermit Community Center. Like Kermit the Frog, that's the name.
It's really Kermit or just somebody else?
Kermit Community Center. The other one says, title of this next article, City Unsure Why the Sewer Smells.
What?
Yeah. Here's another title. Rooms with broken air conditioners are hot. These are real news articles. These are the titles. Yeah. World Bank says poor, need more money. Prisoners serving 2,000-year sentence could face more time. Oh, goddamn. Oh, if they're living 2,000 years. Alton attorney accidentally sues himself.
What?
Let's see. One more. Let's do one more. Murderer says detective ruined his reputation. Scientists are, it says scientists to kill ducks to see why they're dying. So they're killing ducks to see why they're dying.
But
Those are wacky headlines, but they are real. I mean, there is an entire article under each one you could read about them.
That's wild.
It's amazing.
Oh man, what else?
Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. Is that a song?
No.
So Putin hasn't launched any nukes yet.
Yeah, I didn't get a call from you.
Usually I give my spiel on that, but we did blow up a bridge over there. I say Ukraine blew up a bridge. It's a main bridge that's allowed Russia to supply more forces and weapons and tanks and stuff. Well, now they can't get that stuff over to Ukraine because they blew the bridge up. That's good.
That's nice.
But yeah, I mean, it's really crazy. I know I said this last week and I'm repeating myself, but I mean, Armageddon could really happen any day.
You really believe that?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, it could.
Yeah.
I mean, it really could. Do you have extra food? Do you like stock up on food?
No.
You should be stocking up on some food, getting you some dry goods. I have well, yeah, I guess I'll tell. If you guys try to come over here during Armageddon, I'll shoot you, but I have a stockpile of food. And then when I went over to my buddy's house in Arizona this week, he was showing me a few things and he's got a huge stockpile of food. But you want to get the 25-year shelf life food, almost like MREs. It's like a dry food that you would add like boiling water to later or something. And the shelf life's 25 years.
Where do you get those though?
Well, so you can order them online.
Okay.
Yeah. Or go to I don't know, probably like an army surplus store would have them. I know Walmart carries some. They have a brand that they carry that has 25 years shelf life. And you can get, you know, pancakes, you can get rice, you can get lasagna, you can get meat, I mean, milk, evaporated milk, I mean, on and on and on. And all of it's probably like, well, I don't want to say that because I tried one that was biscuits and gravy. Just curious like how it would taste,
Yeah.
and it was really good. It really actually tasted really good.
Was it just like a mushy consistency that tasted like biscuits and gravy, or it actually was?
So the biscuits and gravy kind of was, but it had like, it had like sausage chunks in it and then like the crumbled bread. So it was kind of a mushy consistency, but it didn't really look gross. Like it sounds like it would look gross, but it didn't look gross. It tasted really good. But if you do like the lasagna or they have mac and cheese or all that stuff looks like normal mac and cheese, or they have spaghetti and meatballs, that looks completely normal. Most of them look normal.
Mm-hmm.
And there are different companies, different brands that make it. And so like Mountain House makes it. I think that's probably the best one. That's who I'd recommend.
So you were prepared for something to happen.
Well, I'm prepared for, I'm not one of those preppers you see on TV. Like they made a TV show out of preppers that are like legit. They're fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I've always bought, like, I try to every other time we go to the grocery store or something, buy a can of something, and just I've slowly kind of built up my stockpile over the last 5 years. But I probably got enough food to get us by for the 3 of us for 6 months, maybe. That's what's crazy is how much food that we do have saved up, and knowing, because it looks like we have enough to last us a lifetime, but it would really probably only last us 6 months tops.
Right.
What my point is, like the amount of food we consume in a 6-month period is really fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
We eat a lot.
Mhm.
We're like elephants.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing pretty good considering how much we take in.
Mhm.
Like
And
if
then
you
you should get radiation pills. You can order
Oh,
those on Amazon. Um,
to like combat.
yeah, so if they drop some nukes over here, there'll be radiation. So really, in theory, let's say Kansas City, well, if Kansas City got nuked, we'd all be dead. But let's say it's a nuke further away that doesn't actually kill us, but it will spread the radiation. You really want to go down in your basement for at least 72 hours. And don't come out until that 72 hours, but then also take these iodine pills, which protect you from the radiation. And then I bought some life-proof straws. So you could literally take this straw, it's got a filter connected, stick it in the river, and then drink the water out of the river, and it filters it. Cause you definitely would never want to drink water out of the river without it going through some kind of filter. And then I bought these big filter bags. So instead of just doing one drink at a time through a straw, you could filter like 2 or 3 gallons of water at a time so you could cook with it or something.
Okay. I've
Yeah.
seen those straws advertised.
Yeah. And they are good for like 150,000 gallons of water.
What?
Like think about that. Yeah.
Wow.
That's a shit ton of water.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I do some prepping, but I don't have like a bunker next door or some crazy shit like that. I wish, I
Uh-huh.
mean, if I had the money, I might.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you have a bunker?
No, I have a basement. I don't have a bunker. I don't have a stockpile. I'll probably just come over to your place.
Yeah,
I
you
need-
can come over. We'll do we'll keep doing our podcasts. Yeah, it went blurry again. Focus. Damn, dude.
Mm.
Do I look like a sleepy chicken?
Oh, that's what I forgot. I was gonna have you watch that right now. I thought I sent it to you.
Oh, did you? Probably did.
Nope,
Look,
I started to and then I didn't hit send. Here's one of them that you can watch. Oh my gosh. Are we able to pause for a second?
yeah, we can. What do you want to pause?
Oh, I just want to pause and collect myself.
All right, you ready? And 3, 2, 1, pause. All
Oh,
right,
you just now.
3, 2, 1, pause. All right, folks, Janelle has to take a poop, so we'll be right back in a moment. Stand by. All right, guys, welcome back. Her stomach feels better now, so I think we're
So much.
well, we were having some technical difficulties, so I just blamed it on her having to take a dump, but that's not what really happened.
I do feel better though. Thank you.
Oh, so listen, I totally fucking forgot about this. I can't believe I forgot this. I get on the plane to fly home last night. So go through the door, you make your right turn to come down the aisle, down the center of the plane, and the first 3 seats on the right, there's 2 people sitting, one sitting in the window and one sitting in the end seat. So the middle seat's open. And I look and well, okay, this lady's never gonna hear this. I'll never see her. So she is huge. She's sitting by the window, and then the guy on the end chair was a big dude too. And then here I come. I mean, I'm fucking ginormous as well. But I'm like probably pretty close to the last one on the plane, and it's probably pretty close to being the last seat available. I was going to be stuck in the middle no matter what, but at least it was the front row, so I had leg room, you know,
Mhm.
because you got that extra space. So I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? I'm like, at least I'll have leg room, because if I go down a little bit further, I'm going to be in the middle seat. But then I'm like, maybe it'll be too skinny people. I don't, and then anyway, I chose the middle seat in the front row. And as I kind of, and the lady's like, get in here, get in here. She's like, this is my husband. And I was like, oh, that I'm like, well, that's cool, but I'm like, I don't think that's her husband because she's like 78 years old. He's like 45 just by looking at him. She's this like big ginormous white woman. He's this big ginormous black dude. But I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I guess fuck, what do I know it could be? And then I sit down and she's like, yeah, meet my husband. And then she looks at him, she goes, what's your name? And I was like, what, you don't know his fucking name? And he starts laughing. He goes, that ain't my wife. So I sit down and she's holding my one seat belt on the left side to hand to me after I get seated, which is kind of the shorter seat belt, and then the long one's on my right side. So I grab it and I'm reaching over to lock my seatbelt in, and I grab the one that she's holding for me, and she goes, "Oh, we can get a seatbelt extender if you need it." I'm like, "Bitch, I don't need no seatbelt extender. I got this, man." So I lock it in. I got like an extra 6 more inches to cinch it tight. I'm like, "Fucking seatbelt extender, you're out of your mind." Holy shit, this lady just starts talking and doesn't fucking stop. She talked 2.5 hours. And I mean, saying the craziest shit. Like, well, the flight lady, the flight stewardess is like, she was like being funny, talking about putting the oxygen mask on. And she's like, don't be screaming, just close your mouth and put your mask on. And she's like, oh, I'm a screamer, honey. I'm a screamer.
Oh,
And we're like, what? And she's so loud that the people across from us and the row behind us and the row behind that could hear her the whole fucking flight, dude. Everything. And she's talking about, yeah, I was in Arizona. And she's like, oh my God. She goes, we were high as shit, me and my daughter. I mean, she's really like, I asked her, she was 78 years old. She looked like she was 90. And
oh
she's
my,
just high. She's like, I spent the whole trip high. She goes, oh my God, I love those gummies. They're so good. And she's like, I was when I was going through security, she's like, they said I had an explosive in my crotch. And I was like, what the
what?
fuck does that mean? She's like, I don't know. She's like, it happened to me in Florida too. I went through and they're swiping my hand. You know how they wipe your hands with these like, I don't know, whatever things they're just like wiping you with to test for explosive. I'm like, so they wiped your crotch with that? I'm like, and she goes, I don't know, but she goes, they pulled me aside to search me, and I told them there's no explosive down there. It's just fat. It's all fat. And I was like, oh my God. And then she keeps talking, and she's like, but then I told him maybe it's my tampon. I mean,
What?
just openly saying all this shit to us. Me and this dude that's sitting next to me, or I mean, it was funny, but it was so fucking weird. And then
Awkward.
she's like, yeah, me and my husband were in Kansas City in 1972, and she's like, he used to sell weed. He started out selling just like, you know, dime bag, and then next thing you know, he's selling a couple pounds at a time. And she goes, we always had this one guy come over, and he was always buying dope, and he'd hang out, he'd spend the night with us. She's like, I fed him dinner multiple times. She's like, this went on for like 6 months. And then the last time he came over, they kicked the door in and arrested all of them. The dude that she's been feeding dinner to was an undercover cop for the last 6 months. Like, he's spending the night at my house. I'm like, holy fuck.
Damn, that's putting in some overtime.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, so he's really spent the night. She's like, yeah, he spent the night all the time. She's like, my husband sell him drugs, and then he'd take it off and sell it to whoever. And she's like, what pisses me off is I fed him dinner. I always fed him dinner, and then he comes back and arrests me.
What's the rules on that from a law enforcement side? It's like on a technicality, like as long as they don't specifically ask, are you a cop, then you can get away with not
Well, yeah, you
identifying
don't have to tell
yourself?
them you're a cop, even if they ask.
You don't?
No, I don't know who started that rumor, but
So
I
it is
don't know of
a
any detectives though now that would be like spending the night at someone's house. I don't know. That seems kind of weird, but I guess if you get into some deep operative type shit, you could. I mean, there's guys that have been embedded with the Hells Angels, and they've like literally lived the Hells Angels life for years just to infiltrate them and arrest them later.
holy
But
shit.
But I do know like some of those detectives, I mean, they really take on that role and almost kind of turn into a druggie. And I don't mean like they're using the drugs, but they just kind of start living that lifestyle. They got beards and they're just look like they're in shambles, and they almost forget what their real life is about because they're playing this other role 24/7, you know?
Yeah,
But
that
yeah,
seems
she was crazy. So fucking crazy. She's like, "Yeah, I was on this one flight to London with this one time," and she's like, "I talked to the guy the whole time." I was like, "Holy fuck. I could not imagine being on a trip to London." I mean, 2.5 hours is crazy. I mean, she told us everything.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, she was nuts. Oh, the flight, when we were getting off the flight too, or getting ready to get off, girl, talking on the phone saying, "Make sure you pick up your trash and glad you flown with us." She's like, "Hey," she goes, "I almost forgot. We got someone on the plane with us who just turned 100 years old, and this is his first time ever flying on a plane." So the
Aww.
whole plane's like, "Yeah," we're all yelling, screaming, clapping, woo. And as soon as we all kind of get quiet and get done clapping, she's like, "So on your way out, wish the pilot a happy birthday."
That's awesome.
Oh my God. She
Oh,
got
that's
it.
a good one. You got me. I was like,
Got us. She got us good. She got us real good. Oh, so you sent me. All right. So this is the TikTok challenge. I want to look at this. I want to watch it live so I have a natural reaction. I won't watch all of them.
okay.
Is officially warning the American people not to do the NyQuil Chicken Challenge. A lot of you out there might be wondering, what is the NyQuil Chicken Challenge?
That
We have
chicken was
people in our
green.
society cooking raw NyQuil and chicken and eating it. What are you doing? What's wrong with you? What possessed you to wake up this morning and say, you know what?
It's
I'm gonna just
green.
chicken cutlets,
He's
dump
beating
them
his
down,
chicken.
and just lather them in NyQuil. Not even good NyQuil. We're talking bootleg gas station NyQuil. It's an abomination. It's a shame.
Gas
George
station
Washington
NyQuil.
fought wars, not for us to eat NyQuil lathered chicken, for us to eat beautiful breaded chicken cutlets from your Italian grandmother. Shame on you.
Oh, that looks terrible. It looks so disgusting.
Yes. But it's apparently dangerous.
Oh my God. We'll have to do that next time we're over at D-Dog's house.
No, we are not doing
Why
anything
not?
like
We won't tell him. We'll just feed it to him.
Oh, let's do it. Okay. Deal.
Do
I'm
it to
in.
Brandon.
I was that's what he gets for shoving all those shots down everybody else's throats.
Oh my gosh. How do the people drink that much? And then all those dudes get up the next morning and they're like smiling, cooking fucking breakfast, and
They get up at like 3:30 in the morning after drinking. Yeah.
F that.
I
Anything else you want to share with us?
don't think so.
Jonelle West Coast. All right, well, good podcast.
Yes.
So I do want to remind everybody that, and I already said it once, but please subscribe. I mean, I know there's at least 80 of you guys listening. I can see it. So please just scroll down a little bit and hit subscribe, because that'll really help us out. And then share it with your friends, share it with your family. Leave a like.
Smash that like button.
Hit that notification bell. It looks like I have a cat paw.
It kind of does.
Yeah.
Is Clint holding something back there? Oh no, that's his foot. Sorry.
Wait, his foot?
His leg. I don't see his foot. I see his leg.
Oh my gosh. I was like, I don't even see his
Are you
foot.
turning into a furry?
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to start small.
Just testing it out.
Yeah. These work though. These things work. They keep you can't hear like the fan blowing and all that stuff.
We have to get together in person soon.
Yes. We
Okay.
talked about that. Cash wants to see you, so get your ass up here.
Oh shit. Okay, sounds good.
All right, maybe we'll get drunk before. That's what we need to do. We need to plan one when you can like spend the night.
Okay. That sounds kinky.
Hope you're ready, Sam.
Bye, Sam.
Alright, folks, thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next Monday.
See you next week.